Ross, doing more life, asking you this time, over the last 10 years, where would your money have been more stable? If you moved to a foreign country 10 years ago, somewhere here in Southeast Asia, and you're wondering, well, if I moved it over now as I was there, what would have been the best thing? Let's take a look and find out for ourselves. Let's compare for the last 10 years how the euro, the dollar, the Australian dollar, and the pound have fared when looking at Thailand, Laos, the Philippines, Malaysia, Vietnam, and China. I have not included Cambodia in this, as the Cambodian currency is really tied to the American dollar, and it is the American dollar that is the most preferred currency over there, so it's very hard to do an oranges to oranges comparison. Let's first look at the American US dollar. The dollar currently is on a 6-year high against many currencies, except for the Thai baht, which still has not reached its historical low. Back in 2013, the baht did fall down to 28.6 and then did a steady increase. In looking at how the dollar has fared to other currencies, you can actually trace certain events and see how well it's traveled. For the most part, though, the dollar has been doing very well. A strong economy since 2009, I should say a growing economy since 2009, has greatly helped the United States get itself back on track. Where we go in the future is still an unknown. America still has a very strong currency and a very strong economy. However, it is also very fragile, and with an election looming, then other factors outside could drastically change the dollar in the near future. Next is the Australian dollar, and I don't know enough about Australian politics to understand why the Australian dollar is at an all-time low against most of countries in Southeast Asia. It is also at historic lows to the dollar, almost historic lows to the euro and the pound. I'm not sure why Australia is doing that. Perhaps you guys from Australia, leave some comments below and try to explain to the rest of us who live in the northern hemisphere why Australia's dollar is so weak. I would be very interested in knowing that answer. I'll hold here just for a minute so you can look at the different slides. Feel free to pause it if you need to. The next currency we're going to look at is the euro. The euro has been taking a beating in Southeast Asia, but it is not at its historic lows. In fact, it's about a midpoint. Around 2015 is when it was hitting historic lows against most of the currencies, and that is right at the time that the military took over the government here in Thailand. And it seems that the euro was more affected by that than the dollar or the Australian dollar or even the pound. The last currency we're going to look at is the Great Britain pound. It also has been on a roller coaster ride over the last 10 years. But looking at China, Laos, Thailand, it has been on a steady and slow decline with a little ups and downs along the way, as compared to whether the US dollar, where it looks like some mountains where it's been up and down. And it is not on historical lows yet. In Thailand, absolutely. The pound is has to be a 20-year low. I can remember almost 20 years ago, the pound was almost selling at 72 baht for $1. And now it's at 38. I used to be happy when the dollar got 38 back in 2004 and 2005. So, for you people with your one of these four currencies, take a look at the 6 countries below. Figure out what country may be the best for you with your money today. Which one has, for the last 10 years, your money's almost equal. Vietnam, almost equal for the pound. Compared to where it was in 2009 to today, it's only down less than 0.15%. So if you moved there 10 years ago, you enjoyed the increase in value for 6 or 7 years, and now you're suffering through the decrease in value. That is going to happen anytime you move to a place where you have money coming in from another country and you need to exchange that money. Now, we've looked at the exchange rates. Now let's take a look at the consumer price index, or what inflation looks like per country. Looking at the 5 countries using Thailand as our base, since many of us are here looking at Thailand, let's compare how inflation has fared to other countries. China actually is cheaper to live today than Thailand. Vietnam, the inflation rate has gone up steadily over the last 3 years, and that is the only information currently available. So while the Thai baht might be weaker today than the Vietnamese dong, the cost to buy things in Vietnam is exponentially more expensive. I have heard of a blogger who recently has traveled to Vietnam saying that while yes, Vietnam is much more expensive than Thailand. The same can be said looking at the Philippines, Laos, and Malaysia. Malaysia is experiencing extremely high inflation as compared to Thailand. Laos, similar. Same thing for the Philippines. So Thailand still, while it does have a weaker currency, compared to inflation, it may actually be still stronger, if that makes sense. So where should you retire? Which country is right for you? Some other things to think about. If you have medical needs and need certain medications, will your family be happy with where you're living? And does that country meet your lifestyle? Yes, that's me and my wife, and me with elephants. And I love elephants. I have made Thailand my home for almost the last 5 years. We've built a home here. I've watched 2 grandchildren be born, traveled extensively through Thailand, have experienced some medical emergencies. And the one thing through all of it has been my wife right by my side. And the little cartoon in the bottom right-hand corner is something that I have found many years ago and used to have it hanging on the refrigerator. That a man with dreams needs a woman with vision. Or is to say, wherever you're going to go, make sure your partner is right there with you, doing it every step of the way. It will make life that much better. What have I learned from doing this video and the last one? Exchange rates will change in every country. The cost of goods will go up, maybe go down, and taxes will always need to be paid. So wherever you decide you want to call home, make sure it's surrounded by people you love, people who love you, and the money won't matter as much. This has been Ross, doing another video for DoMoreLife. And if you like this video, subscribe to the channel below, share it with some friends, and give us a thumbs up. And also, please leave any comments below, any questions you may have. If you'd like to know about other currencies, leave it in the comments below. I will do my best to do some research for you and make a new video. Have yourself a lovely life.